The mandate of BITC is anchored in an Act of Parliament. We are actually an institution that is established out of an Act of Parliament. So if you go to the BITC Act of 2011 and you read Section 16, it will establish our mandate as investment promotion that is going out of Botswana to attract investors to come and do business in Botswana, but also to look at the domestic investment, to come up with initiatives that enable local investors to have somewhere to place their money and also earn a return. So we look at both foreign and domestic investment. The second aspect of our mandate is what we call export development and promotion. In other words, that's where we establish alignment with companies like Leia, who will incubate from the bottom. But when somebody reaches the point of export readiness, Leia will hand them over to us, but also including some that would have attracted who wouldn't necessarily have gone through Leia, who will then enter our programs and be taught what it takes to export. Once they are ready to export, it is our responsibility to then introduce them to identified foreign markets that align with their products. So that is a key mandate that we do. And then the last and very important aspect of our mandate is what we call nation branding. This came about as a result of Botswana not being well known. So we have a huge responsibility of creating global awareness about Botswana, but also on the same side, making sure that the promises that we create through messaging to the global audiences, Botswana actually live up to those when somebody gets to visit the country. So we impact through our mandate many other players, like your immigration, the first impressions they create when somebody lands at the airport, like even your, go down to the social spaces like your taxi operators, the impressions that they create as they interact with our visitors. So it's a very huge mandate, and we believe with the support of everybody else, we will be up to the task. Usually, in a conventional method of strategy, you set fixed objectives to say, I'm here at the moment, in 5 years I want to be here, and this is the straight line path. But at BITC, we made an honest acknowledgement that, circumstances usually change on the way. So that's why our strategy is a scenario-based strategy, to say if we felt that we are operating in an environment that's going this way, but ultimately changes and goes that way, what are the basic behaviors that we have to carry out in order to still be aligned to the changed course or direction? The environment is so demanding at the moment that every 3 months, you are sitting with the president to account on what exactly you are driving. So one of the areas that we are driving with all that we are doing is to realize investment and export growth. Because it is only that when we achieve that we can speak about sustainable economic diversification. We have a very clearly mapped out stakeholder matrix, which really defines which institution has to play what role. I spoke about our ministry now driving the doing business reforms. Yes, they have been nominated as coordinator, but if you look at the actual hands-on implementation, it points to so many other stakeholders around. So I think one of the things we will be driving in collaboration with our ministry is to get every party to play their role so that we really advance as Botswana, as the Botswana team. We have a very clear direction that we are pursuing. Number one, what sectors? They are defined in Vision 2036. Which markets? We use our market intelligence tools, which we have in abundance, to really point us in the right directions. We, through those market intelligence tools and the markets that we have selected, now emphasize a stronger collaboration with our embassies and other constituents that are patriotic to Botswana around the world. But key and very important will be to cultivate a conducive environment for doing business, and that we can do if we are working hand in hand as Team Botswana. If I can achieve that, everything else becomes easy.